this sounds familiar. You get to end of a paragraph, you start thinking, what the hell I just read? And the worst part is, you come up blank with the books that you already read. And what if I tell you, you pick up a book, read it, and remember almost everything from that? This kind of thing seems like a superpower to have, and there are so many people around the world who are so good at retaining information. But definitely, I am not one of them. I have read many books, newsletters, and blogs, but my ability to recall is terrible. So I finally decided to look into this matter, to learn how smartest people in the world retain information. Whether you read your academic chunky books, non-fiction books for your own personal development, how likely are you able to remember just 5 facts from the book that you just read? How well you can elaborate and describe or summarize the book that you just read to someone else? Let's get into this matter. How I remember everything, whatever I read. In 1969, Algar Dale came up with what is called the cone of learning, essentially stating 6 levels of learning. So here it is. This is a pyramid. This pyramid is called the cone of learning. After 2 weeks, you just remember 10% of whatever you read, and 20% roughly of what you hear, and 30% of what you see. And in that same pyramid, last 3 levels are 50% of what you see plus hear, 70% of what you say, and the 90% what you say and do. And this is called the cone of learning. In the top 4, we can state this as a kind of passive learning. And the last 2 can be stated as the part of active learning, in which you say and you do. So after some research, I concluded that our ability to remember and retain things varies widely from person to person. Some have terrible memories while some other have exceptional. I got this from one of Ali Abdal's video, where he discusses about the 7 levels in a reader's reading journey. In level 1, he told about there are the people who just begin to read. This level involves passive reading without any much engagement. These people think highlighting and note-taking on books is a pretty bad idea, but later they realize it's actually not that bad. At level 2 comes when they starts highlighting or starts to underline parts of books or lines that resonate with them. Although it's better than passive reading, it still does not significantly aid in remembering context. Level 3 comes when one introduces a systematic approach to reviewing highlights. Level 4 begins when one incorporates a central note-taking system into their workflow to organize their learnings. And on level 5, when one engages with books by taking notes, summaries as they like, or adding some their own personal experiences and impressions. This helps to solidify learning and retention of context. At level 6, this includes if you want to go even deep into book, to check detailed summaries, or even better to write your own. And yeah, I know it's time consuming, but it provides deeper engagement and understanding. And the final level is about permanent evergreen notes from books. These are atomic, self-contained, and heavily linked to each other in your system. If I talk about the most important part, that's not just about reading, it's about applying the things that you read in your real life. Else, tell me, what's the purpose of reading non-fiction books? Gathering tools from books and applying it into your real life working scenario and systems. I just told you about all those levels in reader's journey, but don't just stress out on that. It's totally okay. Let me share something. No one is good in beginning. You try, you fail, you keep doing, you get better. Not on very first day, not in weeks, but eventually, if you keep doing, you will get better. Especially for a non-fiction read, author shares some of his experiences, some facts, hacks, tips, and workarounds. I personally did this mistake when I started reading out non-fiction books. It's like, don't just read and pass on next book. A non-fiction book is not a story. It's something you do to get your life a bit better. And it will not get better just by reading. It gets better by applying what you read. And about looking back to your past reads, the best thing that you can do is to write your summaries in your own way. And whatever I want to recall or recap, I just go through my Obsidian Vault, either some of my diaries. Remember, we tend to prioritize information that is either frequently used, recently used, or likely needed to make decisions. And that's why taking action is important and implementing things that we read in our day-to-day life. So basically, becoming a better reader is all about putting in work. Reading, taking notes, studying, and the most important part is to take action. Making use of information that you are taking in. We are not a computer hard disk that can store tons of zeros and ones in our head. So that's where second brain comes into play. If you are interested to know more about Obsidian, let me know in comment sections. I will help you out in upcoming videos. And remember, a book is about a journey with the author. So be a little kinder to yourself. As Ryan Holiday says,
having one or two things that you take from a book, if those are important things, that could change your life. You know, you paid $11 for this book. Like, is it so bad that you only got 2 life-changing things from it, right? So like, I think sometimes people are like, I don't have perfect recall of the book. I mean, the book was supposed to take you on a journey
and leave you with something. So yeah, this was it. I hope this video is worth watching. I will see you very next time. Till then, peace out.
Make a plan instead now. You got this one life here and now to feel the sun on your skin and to see the clouds. There's nothing out there quite like living. Just in the simple things, watch a kid and you'll get it. It's no heaven, but a damn close second. Can always find someone new who has it much better, but can also find someone that has it much worse. Is the cup that full? Do you have that curse? Turn it all around, put your mind in reverse.